Yo, is anybody thirsty?
Are you thirsty?
Or is there a little bit of thirst going on?
Thirsty.
So it was a bit of a hit, huh?
I do like it.
It's not even that it's a hit, it's that you have designed that so well that your eye is just drawn to it. As soon as you look at that image, your eye will immediately be drawn to the thirsty billboard.
Yeah.
It's convenient that this is what we opened on, because before we were going live, I was like, okay, hold this thought, let's go live, because we were talking about SCP waifus.
Yeah. The tier list for SCP waifus.
Mm-hmm.
And Gabe had found something that said that the lizard, the unkillable lizard, was an S tier waifu.
Mm-hmm.
Which is like not fair at all.
No.
I feel like to put anyone in the S tier waifu category, they have to be able to be like depicted on a billboard with like some shorts being like thirsty.
Yeah.
I mean, he could be, right?
Well, there's probably an SCP that's like a Rorschach ink blot billboard that can like shift and morph around, and you know, when it gets real horny, it's just like thirsty.
Okay. Well, that's why I'm saying the paper girl. Paper girl is an S tier waifu.
I don't even know what paper girl is.
Paper girl is a girl made of paper or she exists as like text ASCII art on a page, but if she can move between paper and she takes on the like visual style of whatever she's transferred to.
Well, I feel like we gotta put them along axes, right? Because of the nature of what SCPs are and their sort of intangible natures. Because you got like the romantic SCPs,
right?
Like the one with the mask could have a good bit of romance with a mystery. And then you got companionship.
The flag doctor.
Yeah, and then you got the sexuality, of course. Because some of them, like the ASCII art, like
Hey, I've seen some good ASCII.
But maybe the other ones.
Well, I found one here, Miss Dynamite, who's basically just Bakugo, but as a young Hispanic woman.
Okay.
And she just secretes like nitroglycerin from her skin, and she's immune to explosions and heat. And
as you would need to be.
It's just Bakugo.
That's just Bakugo.
Yeah.
That's
but there's like a backstory where she there's like a whole story here about how she was working for somebody else, and then she was like, I'm gonna blow you up, come at me, bro. And then the SCP Foundation is like, well, what if we just shot you with this cool gel that we have? And
this fuck off gel.
Yeah, so now she's kept just in a cell, which be like just kind of sucks, I think, if you're like a super soldier of some sort.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the retelling or what, but that does have a weirdly horny energy.
The gel?
The gel, the immunity to explosions, the trapping someone in a cage because SCP. I don't know, I'm getting some Rainbow Dash vibes, you know?
I don't know.
Jesus Christ.
Oh no, not Rainbow Dash. Don't go near the radiator, Rainbow Dash.
I think SCP-682 definitely not high on the waifu tier list.
No.
If you're a human, he doesn't like you.
They know exactly.
So,
but that's where the romance comes in.
For most of us,
who doesn't want to date a Tsundere lizard?
If you're a human waifu, you're just a wife, and that's boring.
What about the sea slug guy?
Sea slug guy. I don't know the sea slug guy.
I don't know. I don't know any SCP. Like I'm so out of touch with the SCP lore.
See, I just smile and nod, and more information comes, and I'm just like, oh, neat. Slime boys. Okay.
So,
are there slime girls?
No. Okay, hang on. Let me give you a little down. SCP-1867 is a sapient and capable of telepathic communication with individuals within 5 meters. And he's a sea slug. And he identifies himself as Lord Theodore Thomas Blackwood, a British explorer and naturalist. He makes repeated claims of past exploits and accomplishments, and when asked to give proof of its exploits, he provided an address in England and said he'd be more than willing to donate his collection. And they went there, and it just was a straight-up mansion filled with a collection you would expect of an eccentric explorer. So it seems like this guy came from another. And it's not sure where he came from, but it seems like he messed with some magic thing and got turned into a sea slug.
This sounds like a character that would exist in a Sierra game.
Yeah.
This sounds like a character that would exist in some point-and-click adventure.
Anyway, he tells all sorts of stories about his adventures, like the time he went to Mars, and the time that he fought the reptile, the hard-to-kill reptile. All sorts of nonsense. He's great.
Intrepid, one might say.
He's intrepid.
I'll give him A tier.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty A tier. He's lived a cool life. He's got a lot of cool stories.
Yeah.
Your life will be interesting if you have him as waifu/husbando.
But he is also a slug.
Yeah, well, right now he's a slug.
Yeah. For what we know, he is a slug.
So for the people who actually know their SCPs, because I'm not one, who is the anti-waifu? Or not the anti-waifu, the controversial waifu? You don't think people will agree with, but for you.
The really famous one, the one that just snaps your neck if you're not looking at him.
Shy Guy, yeah.
The Bean Boy.
As soon as you're not giving him attention, snaps your neck.
That's exactly it. You go out, you have a nice date, nice romantic candlelit dinner, you fall asleep in each other's arms, and then as soon as you close your eyes, done.
Choking is all the rage these days.
But it's not choking, it's neck snapping.
It is neck snap. I think there is a whole SCP that's just like vor as a concept.
Yeah.
Okay, but that's not F tier. That's like C or B tier.
I'd say maybe high D tier.
Yeah, I don't know. It depends on context. Are they cute or?
No, it's like it's a big Leviathan-esque monster that randomly you teleport into its mouth and then get digested.
Leviathan monster? That's pretty high on the waifu tier list.
Problem is, there's a lot of SCPs.
Will's regretting his choices.
There's so many.
He's just sitting there like, fuck, what did I do?
Most of them aren't like...
We hit vor. That's the warm-up. I've got the thing ready.
Most of them aren't sentient beings. I think my favorite SCP, I think, is the mirror one. But that's not a sentient being. That's an object.
Mine is the trans-dimensional door that has people knock on it thinking that it's a Halloween trick-or-treat. And so you open the door and it's a trick-or-treater there.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
What about that weird face that exists in the Endless Staircase? I think that would be a controversial waifu.
No, that's long distance. Yeah. Also, stalking. Not that brings him pretty low on the waifu tier list.
What about the Tickle Monster?
I didn't know there was a tickle monster.
Tickle monster and it's an SCP.
It is. I think it's SCP-999. It's an orange. It is. It's an orange blob that makes you happy when it touches you.
That's high. That's high on the tier list.
Yeah, that's pretty high on the tier list. That's like A tier. Just a person that you just touch and you're happy and you can have a life with that.
Yeah. They put it in with the unkillable lizard, and the unkillable lizard laughed, and everybody that saw it was like, "Okay, that's bad. Please don't have to laugh again. We hate that." And he was like, "Hey, listen, real talk. If you put that thing in my cell again, I'm gonna kill every last human on Earth. I don't care anymore. That was the worst experience of my life. Being happy, disgusting." Which I think just points to how all SCPs are written by edgelords.
Yeah.
But you know what? That's okay.
SCPs do have big katana energy.
Yeah.
Big katana.
The human kingdoms were a place of hostility and death. Sorry, I just felt that was an appropriate time to jump in.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah. Clipboard
Big katana
time.
energy.
The Freedlands were wild, not romantic, just unsafe. South, penned in and flanked by the Estron Empire. In Imperial mainland ports, you're unwanted and predated upon. but the seas have always been home, and the Bilgewater is a fine house. Your vacation is just about over, and across the waves to the southeast, a rookery could use a ship like yours. Perhaps, like boatfolk before, you can find a welcome port beyond the mainland's reach. Somewhere amid the scarce-charted and spray-hewn crags of the Dragon Isles, a buccaneer's purgatory might be an escape from a pirate's hell. Welcome to Bloodwine.
I totally forgot to hit the intro button.
I do think it's really cute how you picked clips of us all laughing for our like individual moment.
Well, Will's is more of a god damn it, why do I play with these guys? But yeah.
It's sadism and exasperation. It's kind of a pull and tug kind of thing.
I wanted to have moments of us being very animated, and we are most animated when we are laughing and having fun. like we're never doing stuff like I'm gonna get it, like we're never just like shouting or anything like that.
Yeah.
Like we're always just having a goof.
Old school Minecraft YouTubers.
Or just me playing Minecraft at any point. Like, and a creeper shows up. Like,
you know what the problem is? I've realized what it is. Since starting streaming, I kind of cartoonishly yelp when I get very pettily surprised because I'm used to doing it for the content.
Yep, 100%.
It's not even that. Like, I will be just alone, not talking to anybody, playing Minecraft, and a skeleton will show up and hit me, and I'll be like, ah!
Minecraft is one of the leading horror games, so like,
yeah,
it is. Yeah.
So, hello.
Hello.
Welcome to Bloodwine. It's been a little bit. When last we met, you guys were leaving real early in the morning from a port on the mainland, and you were heading to place.
Places unknown, yeah. We were going east.
I mean, I pissed off the town, and we have to leave.
I mean, the town hated us in the first place, so, you know.
Yeah. Gabe, are you muted? I'm not hearing a Gabe.
I was muted.
There we go.
I'm a dummy.
Fool.
It happens.
Why do I suffer fools?
Why will be born just to survive, mate?
I do like that we basically landed, like we docked in that town, and they were like, hey, don't you be letting people off, because we'll be keeping an eye on you.
Yeah.
And then as soon as everyone's off, we're basically just like, okay, bye.
See ya, won't want to be ya.
They dropped off like a dozen people, too.
Yeah, it's like, your fault now, your problem, deal with it, bye.
Yeah, hey, listen, Bucko, that's your problem.
So yeah, we're heading east. Boys.
Back to work. We had our fun vacation, fun relaxing vacation, and
yeah,
got things to do.
I'm relaxed. I don't know about y'all.
Yeah. Pretty relaxing, blowing up some boats and killing some people.
It's always relaxing.
Yeah. I don't know if relaxing is what I'd say, but
Well, let's pull up the map then.
At some point, I'm gonna need to get up and like turn the light on because the sun is going down very fast.
Yeah, one day.
Yeah.
So I don't know why we were here. I think this is where we were we were heading towards.
Yeah, no, we were going into there.
Yeah, currently you're in G8.
Okay, you want me to bring up the map for G8 then?
G8. Jade it up, you know?
Yeah.
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 Jade, don't be late.
There we go. We're in the
Who
up
do we
there's-
appreciate?
Up there he is.
I am out of comedy juice. I am plumb out.
Man, I'm drinking some more. Like,
oh, drink that
maybe
comedy juice.
Maybe I can get some comedy extract. Maybe some milk of comedy. You know.
It's actually okay. So I have a confession to make. This is from like the bottom of a Coke bottle, so it's like not fizzy. So it's
disgusting.
It's an excessive amount of whiskey with like flat Coke.
It's nectary.
I've had that too. That is a drink.
No, that's just an experience. It's got like a weird sludginess to it.
Yeah.
Chelsea, I don't know if you can appreciate this, but they make carbonated water specifically for mixing with alcohol because the carbonation is so goddamn important.
It is. No, like, absolutely. Like I'm like I can tell. I have a whole new thing of Coke too. I could totally have just not used the bottom of the bottle, but like,
where's the fun in that?
Where's the fun in that? Yeah.
You're a rugged individualist, and you're making it on your own. You know.
Yeah.
Man, just like, Villager from Animal Crossing.
Yeah. Except, I don't know.
Famous hero from American lore.
Yeah.
Animal Crossing.
Villager from Animal Crossing, striking across the wild frontier, making friends with animals at a crossing.
Animal Crossing doesn't seem like the type of game that, like, is trying to advertise individualism.
No, it's not.
Like,
if anything, it's advertising the exact opposite.
Yeah, because it's basically, its MO is just like, okay, so if you're an individualist, literally everyone you know in your life is going to ask you for favors for nothing in return. Have fun!
Yeah. Literally nothing.
I thought the way you win the game is by saying no.
Yeah,
no, the way you win the game is by paying off your mortgage.
Oh.
As soon as the game asked me to enter my name, I hit no, and credits rolled. Boom.
I mean, let's be real. It's Animal Crossing. The way you win the game is by getting serotonin.
Yeah.
Precious serotonin.
That shit's rare. Like,
listen, it's Animal Crossing. The way you win is by avoiding Isabelle hentai.
Harder than you think.
Sorry.
You go looking for like Isabelle Doom memes and just like scroll down just a little bit too far.
Well, you know, if you need a NoFap accountability partner, bro, I can.
Oh yeah.
People were shipping Isabelle and Doom Guy.
Yeah, because the Animal Crossing and the new Doom Eternity came out on the same day.
I don't know if
I feel like the shipping moves to meet demands to keep artists employed. You know, like nobody's cranking it to Doom Guy Isabelle until they know that they can go. I have $40 in my paycheck that's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
And this artist, surprisingly cheap. Open commissions.
Yeah. Doom Guy Isabelle porn? Question mark?
The thing about, I hate to say this, the thing about Doom Guy Isabelle porn is that the guys at id Software did say in an interview that Doom Guy does not know what sex is and never will.
I do love that.
He just hates demons so much. That's just everything to him.
Yeah.
I do love
Doom Guy is asexual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just angry.
Asexual representation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The OG in OG video game hero is Ace. That's like the ultimate Ace rep you can get.
Yeah.
And the thing, you can't even say that about Mario. I don't think Nintendo has had the balls to come out and say it.
Well, no, Mario's got some fetish stuff going on with him. Let's be real here.
Oh,
I'm just saying.
I guess.
It keeps happening over and over.
It keeps happening over and over again.
I know. I know.
And then they hang out with friends and go karting together. Like nothing's happening. Just like friends. It's their little secret.
I just wish that Princess Peach would stop involving the entire goddamn kingdom in her roleplay.
And us!
I love how we
and us!
It's
I love how internet culture shifted from like, aha, Mario. The joke is that actually Mario is the bad guy who keeps kidnapping Princess Peach, and Bowser has to get it back. Whereas now it's just like, it's just cucking. It's just.
It's just some roleplay shit.
Okay, I have to turn my light on. It's actually getting very dark very fast.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Okay,
man. So Will, are we traveling?
Sorry?
Are we traveling?
Yeah, it's the early morning, just kind of as people are starting about their days. You've just unmoored from the docks and you're catching a bit of wind. The wind itself is moving against you for the moment. It's moving northwest.
Of course it is.
It always is. I'm telling you guys. Always. Exactly opposite from where we're going.
Well, when we're on land and wind is no longer like a deciding factor in travel, I still want you to roll wind. Because I assure you, when we're traveling on land, it's going to be perfect if we're traveling by boat. Guarantee it.
I don't know if that's quite right.
I feel like if I just had a table and gathered data, this would all go away. But
no, it wouldn't. The observation has been made. It cannot be undone, even with data.
Yeah.
Because every single time it happens, we would ask you to update the table. Because it's just like, it's happening again. Well, it needs to go into the table.
Yeah, we need to tap upon our vast resources to get a couple of a third party to be observing impartially, you know?
Yeah, definitely. Anyway, we traveling, we heading out, we rolling.
We rolling.
Which word?
South. Or maybe east.
Either south or east, because we can't go southeast.
Let's go east. We got more room to maneuver out east.
Oh
yeah.
We're also away from land where they can shoot us.
True.
All right, you guys make your way out into open water, kind of directly away from the port to the east. The wind is against you, but you still manage to make it 2 squares out. What's everyone up to on the ship?
Probably crafting.
Probably ship stuff. Like,
I'm honestly probably still fuming from the night prior, so like, I'm gonna say that I'm like hanging out with warbles, trying to just like calm myself down. Just hanging out with
men, am I right?
Fucking disgusting pig. God damn.
All right, so want to give me a crafting roll, Gabe, and then we'll go back to moving?
Yeah, sure.
I bet he's wearing a fedora too. I couldn't see it, but I definitely felt a fedora.
But I could hear the fedora.
I could hear it.
Came
on
roll.
some shipping.
You can smell the fedora on that guy.
Yeah.
That is a 31, and I'm making bullets from my gun.
That rhymed.
Yeah, that's how I said it.
The wind shifts northward.
Okay, continue east.
East.
Yep.
Can't go south.
All right, you guys make it another 2 squares. You're starting to catch the wind a little better, but the waves themselves are a bit choppy. What's the weather like?
It's a bit windy. Probably a couple of clouds.
It's raining.
It's raining. It's always raining.
Raining men.
It's raining men. Are they wearing fedoras?
It's raining men with fedoras. It's raining men with fedoras. That actually really works.
Yeah. Is the scent thick with the smell of fedora?
It's not even like one of those forced memes where it's like, oh, it's the same number of beats. Like, it's actually the proper weighting with fedoras. I like it.
Yeah, it's good.
So, yeah, you guys are at the edge of this tile here. there's like a light kind of spritzing that's making its way over the seas. Want to move to the next tile and let me know what you see there?
Okie dokie.
We still haven't fixed the
I don't have a
H8.
solution for this. Like, I genuinely am lost at a solution for this.
Eventually, it's just a shrug.
Yeah, it's just a shrug. I'm gonna have to come up with something better for when we actually do this in person again, but that's about it.
Yeah. The wind starts to shift westward.
Perfect.
You can see ahead of you that the lower sort of horn of the Cloud Kingdom is out here. There's really kind of dramatic rises, and you can, even from here, see kind of a vague foamy mistiness to the base of them. It's the far horizon, so you couldn't see that it's actual mist, but you can see the color of the haze around there.
90-degree turn.
All right, you're heading southward.
South.
All right. From here, you start to pick up the pace a good bit. You end up moving 2.5 squares southward. The waters themselves here, like distant from the mainland, you can see the storms come and go in big blotches. They don't tend to get diverted by geography, so it gets easier and easier to skirt around them. It's still really rainy, but with the line of sight you have and the advantage, you can kind of dodge the worst of it in the thick. It's getting close to lunch, and you're still sailing.
I'm going to do another crafting roll, and then I have to go for a quick sec, but I'll be right back.
All right.
I'm going to say that I've given up some of my frustration, but I'm also not in the mood to eat. So I'm gonna feed warbles, but then I'm gonna just go up into the crow's nest and chill for a little bit. I'm gonna brood. I get to be edgy this session, and it's great.
Edgy.
You have a crow. You have a high point to brood upon. It's perfect.
It makes perfect sense. I am the edgy character.
No,
I'm not at all the
what
edgy
it's
character.
like to be me.
I feel like, of all characters, Crowquill is the edgiest. Like, Salus was edgy trying to be, but Crowquill just achieves a natural sort of fuck you attitude needed for edginess.
Yeah, there's a bit of spice. There's a little bit of spice.
Yeah.
Yeah, Salus is trying to be edgy, whereas Crowquill is actually edgy.
Yeah. I finally learned how to RP edgy. Now
You gotta tap into your inner demons.
Now I can be the
social
rogue
anxiety.
that stands in the corner and doesn't tell his backstory. But I'm so dark and brooding, you're gonna wish to know it all, definitely.
No, guys, I'm complicated. It's just implied. It's implied that I'm complicated.
Yeah, that's how I roleplay.
I know I murdered the dude, but it's exactly what my character would do.
Hey,
I'm
listen.
just playing my alignment.
I'm just playing my character, bro. It's just my character, bro.
It's just my character. I don't know what you're talking about.
The wind shifts not super dramatically right away. It takes a bit of time to kind of curve around, but it starts going the other way eastward now.
South again?
East.
Oh wait, the wind's going eastward.
Wind's going east.
Oh yeah, let's fucking take advantage of that shit.
Okay.
You unfurl, so you're going out at full sail. The wind you're able to catch pretty easily, and with the the triangular sail on the one side and the other one on the other, sort of forward, you're able to balance out so that you're not too tippy, you're not too pushed to either side.
Okay.
Sorry, there was a boy peeking who demanded my attention. We're probably gonna have a gecko friend later on today, but right now he's just peeking at me from over a log, giving me the eyes
Hey, how's it going? What you doing?
Because he loves you.
What's going on in the room around me?
It very much is like a suck. It's really weird because that is not lizard behavior. It's just like you say hello. It's a lizard who goes plap in my direction and doesn't seem to be excessively bothered. It's a good time.
All right. So how far?
Anyways, numbers. Yes. You make it 4.5 squares.
Damn.
You see the island. There's a small like fishing island that seems, by the looks of the ships that are patrolling these waters, to be Imperial. Here, because of the fact that there's so many Imperial ships going out into the seas and traders who are going up and down the various highways, there's really like not much cause for you to be singled out as a ship. In particular, you've noted that there's no major like core trade route that makes its way through here because of the number of like charted islands that you can index on and like the different like waypoints that you could travel around. There isn't a singular way past. The only thing is the horn that you guys are currently averting. You're just about to reach it. The distance between the base of the mainland and that kind of island to the bottom. I don't know why. I've never been able to do this. Sometimes I have like the brain thing to the bottom right.
Okay.
That's so weird to me because it like in my brain it's so like locked in concrete that this is my right and this is my left.
Yeah.
Like,
see, that's the thing is,
mistake then.
I think of it kinesthetically. So like the problem is that the words left and right don't come. So it's like it's this side. It's there. Yeah. It's that. What for everything that I need to do in my life, the word left or right isn't as important as the fact that it's there and like you're accessing it. So like when I think about left and right, I think about like the hand or where it is relative to me or the distance it is or where it is on like a diagram.
Okay, that's interesting. I'm the opposite. I like right side and like that's just how my brain works.
Right side, move.
Yeah.
Left side, move.
Interesting.
Sorry, guys, I'm a little distracted. Somebody is trying to scam me on Steam.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. What are they saying?
Well, about approximately 3 hours from now, my Steam account is going to be suspended unless I follow the link.
Oh,
no.
You better click that link. And
I better click the link.
Input your credit card information right
The thing is, I have to talk to somebody from Valve, but he just sent me a picture of the Heavy from Team Fortress 2 with, like, a link to click. And I said, isn't that guy from Team Fortress 2? And he says, I am not joking about this serious issue.
I had the same thing happen to me where it was like, someone has clearly activated the bot.
Yeah.
But it took a second for it to click in my brain to, like, confirm it. Because, like, I got an email for saying, like, that Canada Post was returning a package, like, to its warehouse, and, like, oh, no, it's going to cost me, like, $2 to ship it again. Oh, no. Better click this link to look at your package. And I'm like, I haven't ordered anything in fucking weeks. So I'm like,
oh, I got the same email.
Yeah.
I got an email. It was like, yeah, you got to click this link.
Yeah, I think it went through the. I think it went through the Western email filters.
No spam filter. They're impenetrable.
Yeah.
If it isn't spam, it's like official spam. You're like, oh.
So like
the software that I need for the school is sending me updates through.
Yep. God, you gotta love that.
So I thought it was like a package that my parents had sent me. So I like messaging my mom being like, hey, so did the package like try to deliver to my place? And then as soon as I sent that, I'm like, wait, let me just quickly check what the email was that sent this. And I go and look, and I'm like, it's someone's name at hotmail.com. I'm like, I immediately switch back to texting my mom being like, never mind, it was a phishing scam. It's all good.
Yeah.
What I love is watching the scam baiting videos. Like Kit Boga does some really good ones. Do you guys know those?
Yeah.
Yes!
They're amazing.
They're absolutely fantastic.
And it's funny because like the reason the guy does all the voices is just genuinely because like he sounds like a 20-something who might know how to use a computer, and just it doesn't work. You have to be someone that they think they're smarter than.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, like what I did right now, he's trying to get me to click the link, and so what I did is said, okay, and then I sent the message I would send to that guy to him.
Yeah, every now and then there's like a blue moon where I'm real bored and I'm getting scammed, and it's like, you know what? I want to fuck with them.
Let's play into this a little bit.
Yeah.
At least once I like threw together a burner email and then like just kept putting in slightly wrong information that wasn't usable for anything. And it had to be like a good 3 hours before I got bored and kind of like gave up. But like the next day I was still getting like, hey, I just thought I'd check up with you. You know, like the details that you put in didn't work. It's like, oh no, I think I must have entered them wrong. Or like clicking a link or just like not submitting any information and going, no, I sent it.
Yeah.
I definitely submitted the information. 100%.
Yeah, I definitely gave you that information.
Totally. I totally trust you, random human being. I trust you're a human being.
Yeah.
It's that dual vindication. You get to feel like you're trolling someone because you are, but in reality you're trolling someone who's trying to like
scam people out of like thousands of dollars.
Yeah, like you're trolling someone who's actually trying to harm someone to a certain degree. Like, depending on the person, that might be like, oh, okay, that's a couple bucks in my bank account, I'm not getting back. Or it could be like, oh, this is Aunt Edna who is getting 6 of these calls a week, right? And doesn't know any better.
Man. Yeah. My goal right now is to see if I can convince him to join this Flat Earth Facebook group.
That's amazing.
I said, hey, while we wait for that guy to reply, do you have some time to do some research?
Oh, man. I am so tempted to just like focus on that for the rest of this stream.
I know,
and not
right?
Tabletop.
Okay, give us updates. We're gonna continue on though.
Yeah, give us updates as things happen.
All right, I will.
All right, so you guys are about midway through the afternoon, or you just finished lunch, I should say. It's the early afternoon. The wind shifts back to like a a westerly direction, I should say. Western wind, no north.
Southy times.
Just west.
Northwesterly.
The word north came out of my head, and then I was like, no. How does the D8 work?
How do angle?
What's left? Well, because see, this is the same problem. You say left or right, I go and then this one, it's like what direction is 7? And the answer is the direction of 7 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh shit, 1, 2. No, if it was 8, it would 1, 2. So northwest, west, south.
So long as you're not arbitrarily making up directions. So you guys travel about 4 squares up.
See, the secret is you roll dice to know what you're going to fudge. Like, you don't need to know that you're specifically going to be moving 2.4 squares down. You're moving 2.5 squares south, which is the distance you're moving.
Okay.
Woohoo!
The afternoon starts to wear on a bit further. What kind of ammo are you making, by the way, Gabe?
I am making piercing ammo.
Okay.
Trying to pierce through armor, you know? I'm sick and tired of those armored guys not dying really fast, or, you know.
Okay. So normally you do have, like, different types of shot shell you can put into your weapon as part of your supplies. What makes this ammo different?
Okay, so I feel like normally when I'm doing, like, a, you know what this is? This is 2-stage munitions.
Mm-hmm.
This thing fires, and it still has some powder left in it, so when it hits somebody, it fires a second time at point blank, and that's when all the spread goes off.
Okay, so it's like I'm trying to think of this in terms of like how you're putting it together. Little flechettes, little.
Yeah, it's like one central bullet, but with tips that easily break off. So it fires out, and then when it gets that impact into the armor and it pierces through, then that secondary explosion sort of fragments it.
Okay, this is a very specific kind of piece of artillery. What are you calling it?
What am I calling it?
Yeah.
Calling it 2-stage fragmentary rounds.
All right.
I feel like that's a very Sun answer.
It's either incredibly descript or it's like it's the armor fucker upper.
Yeah.
All right. What is everybody else doing for the later half of the day? Jane, you've been outside all day. Kind of, you're getting wind beaten. The rain's been dampening up your clothes.
Yeah, I mean, I'll like probably switch off with somebody at some point and go down and hang out underneath the ship for a bit.
Before you go under, Croquill is probably going to be like, "Hey Jane, are there any ships around us in the immediate vicinity?"
I'll look around. Is there any ships around us?
There. Remind me where you are on the map.
We are in the middle of nowhere. Well, there's a little island.
Let's see here. Based on where you are, there's still some sea traffic. A lot of the traffic that would have been like a big highway is kind of all nodding through this area. The few people who are doing like long haul routes might even go all the way like south of Square to do a big hook through an unoccupied section of land. You're actually still going to be seeing some sparse ships most of the time on your way through here.
I say that. Yeah, there's some sparse ships.
Never mind then. We'll do it when there's no ships around.
Okay.
Right, the wind shifts another time for the day. It's holding reasonably firm towards like a southwest.
I'm kind of tempted to say like south or southeast then.
Okay. What do you guys think? South or southeast?
I'm thinking southeast. I think if we head southeast, we'll kind of swoop closer to the land there, and like avoid the ships that are kind of going fast. You know.
Sure.
All right. You're not able to go as fast as you could if you go directly south, but you're taking advantage of the fact that like you're kind of moving perpendicular and snaking past a couple of ships. You move just a little bit more than 2 squares to the southeast. You pass a small island with kind of like a fishing hamlet. You notice out here, you can't see the mainland. You haven't been able to see the mainland for some time. There's just these kind of sparse islands. This one is reasonably small. There's some minuscule ones that you could barely even put a shack onto that you have to weave past. You can see ahead that there's like another small settlement and there's some Imperial ships, but they're getting more and more scant. It's around dinner time about now.
Time for more crafting!
But Crow, what are you up to? All right, what are you planning on doing when the ships are clear?
It's a surprise. It's a surprise.
Surprise.
I don't know if I like that.
Son, I don't think you'll dislike it.
Oh, okay then. You know what? I'm more open to it now that you said these words.
I think you'll be generally neutral to the idea of what we're going to be doing.
All right then.
But I will be going down to get some food because now I'm hungry.
Yeah. Dinner
Speaking
time.
of surprise, Rutger comes in And he's preparing a couple of bowls. He goes, more fish.
Ooh!
My favorite.
Surprised.
The ingredients are the same. It's the thought that counts, the intention.
Yeah.
The spices.
I was deceived. I thought we were gonna, have a meal of ocean biscuits,
Ocean biscuit TM. Also,
I
my
don't like those. They always turn into weird sawdust cardboard. I don't know what kind of fool would buy them. Just to be clear, that was the last campaign, right?
Yeah, that was the last campaign. That
Okay.
wasn't like some offline thing that we did or anything like that. That was the last campaign where we came up with Ocean Biscuit TM.
I feel like Rooker's willing to make the joke either way. It's just a question of who the victim of the joke is.
Yeah.
In this case, it's us.
It's Vesta. Vesta doesn't know anything about cooking.
Yeah.
Anything except for bread.
Which they were. They were literally biscuits.
Yeah, but they're biscuits that she didn't make, right?
Yeah.
Like, she knows how to make things into bread, not bread. Doing something
She
with
just
bread.
sells bread. She doesn't know what you're supposed to do with bread. Like,
Yeah.
she saw someone cutting into bread before, and she's like, wonder what they're gonna do with that.
Wild. People don't just bite into it.
The rain is starting to thicken a little. It's coming down harder.
Why couldn't it have been raining like this when I was down working in the workshop, eh?
Well, yeah, I got nothing. Weather sucks.
Eh.
Weather sucks.
Hey, Otto, what's the weather forecast?
Otto, takes a moment to kind of pan around and goes, rain returning to tolerable levels in 8 hours.
Oh, beans. Oh, thanks, Otto.
Well, buckets of fun.
Yeah.
Bucket.
Really?
Yeah, I suppose.
All right, who's going to be keeping an eye out for rain first?
I guess I will.
All right. From where you are, you see that even in the thickest bit of rain, there's the occasional rowboat that's making its way kind of around the nearby port. There must be some kind of motion there. Otherwise, other ships have all stopped. If it wasn't for the night, the rain is easily enough, and by the time you're done bailing for the night, it's not heavy work, just periodically going down and getting a bucket of it out. Seems like everybody's come to a stop. Who's next?
I will.
All right, you make your way up. It's damp, it's rainy, it's windy, it's rocking back and forth. Everything's been taken down and battened down, and things are tied where they need to be. So you just have to periodically go and get a bucket, but you don't spend a lot of time above decks. It's dark, rainy, and windy. How do you feel?
Oh, I'm still feeling an adrenaline rush from that. Well, not the adrenaline rush, but still feeling pretty satisfied about blowing up all those ships. Still thinking about that explosion, and that was a big explosion.
This is good stuff.
And thinking about my cool new rounds and hoping they work well.
All right, who's going to be bailing next?
Rooker.
All right, you guys all head to bed and kind of grumble off.
I'm not.
None
the
of you are
best person
woken for the
bailing.
last. Sorry?
I'm not the best person for bailing.
Yeah, that's fair. Let me check how much water there is. And you begrudgingly sink your hand into the bilge.
I can't just eyeball it. I have to be like, all right, let me just kind of it's about a wrist worth. All right.
Yeah,
I
what's
can get a
the
bucket.
pitch on that slosh?
Yeah.
That's really gross.
Warbles go for a bath. How bad is it?
You awaken to the sound of something sizzling.
Cool. I love that sound.
It's a good sound.
Quality sound.
Quality sound.
There's just like some potato hash browns and a bit of like salt pork, little thin strips of it being fried up and ripped up for the morning. It's a quick, like not necessarily a fish-heavy breakfast, which is a nice change from fish, which is most of the meat around here. You guys get a bit of food in you, and it is actually properly clear. It's that weird kind of drippy, damp, but there's still a sun shining and no more rain coming down kind of clear. It should be clear for the rest of the day.
I taken a big whiff. How's the smell?
It's very salty around here.
Wet.
The air and the water are really easily frothed up because there's so much open sea nearby and a lot of space for cross currents to form. So
Makes
things are
sense.
fresh and well circulated around here. It's good for the sinuses.
Huh.
Quality.
The wind is going directly northward.
I guess east, southeast.
I'll just describe it because it's between a couple of map tiles. Where
Yeah.
you are right now, you know how to the bottom right of the map there's kind of like that one little island?
Yeah.
If you were to project it directly east and southwards, it's kind of like in the middle of like a bay, and then that forms like a larger island that goes like a big kind of edge. To get to where you need to go, if you were to go east now, you're going to be going south a while. If you go south now, you're going to be going east a while.
So the wind is going directly against us, you say?
Maybe. Unless you go east.
I guess east then.
All right. You unfurl your sails and go eastward. Here you're going kind of to the north side of the island that you stopped for the night nearby. There's a lot of ships still making their way around. You end up going 2.5 squares eastward. Is that enough to go to the next tile?
Ish.
All right, I'll say that we don't do it quite for this one. You've made your way around, and you can see that the other island here is broadly unsettled. There's fishing ships that are, or fishing boats, I should say, that are taking advantage of kind of the unoccupied area around here. There's the occasional, like, large cargo ship that seems out of place, taking advantage of the fact that it can make its way through. Otherwise, things are pretty quiet. The whole, like, area ahead of you that you're passing is largely an unoccupied island. The map says that to the south there's a few settlements, but there's nothing here. Just trees.
Well.
Trees, and to the northern side, the one that you're passing near, a lot of rock.
Seems as good a place to stop as any, you know. No civilization means no customers, but it also means no god or military. So,
The wind
all-
shifts to a westerly direction.
So, directly against us. Will.
Alright.
Beans.
Well, we
kind
gambled
of
and we
have to go,
lost.
like a northeast for now, and then a southeast. So,
Yeah.
wop wop sort of situation.
All right, you make it just about a square into the next quadrant. You have to tack back and forth against the wind. It leaves you puttering around, but there's not a lot of ships passing directly near you for you to have to like navigate around. So it's really your pleasure to try and get a bit more distance going.
Not a lot of ships, you say?
Yeah, things are starting to thin out a good bit, especially to this side of the island. You're not fully free of them, but mostly.
You know what? I'll take it.
The wind shifts northward again.
I'm gonna go up into the crow's nest with warbles and do some scouting ahead for this.
All right.
For this sesh.
Woof woof, woof.
That was lame. That was an 18.
Adjacent doggos are having a time.
That's
Some good orcs.
You know what? And that's what matters.
Like
those are pay attention to me borks.
yeah, like they're still crimes, but
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, you're not getting off the hook that easy, Puppo. But, you have committed a crime.
I'm afraid that it is a misdemeanor that we are going to have to put on your permanent record, Puppo, so
Yep.
it is known that Puppo does bork.
You'll never work in this town again.
You're a known borker, goddammit. We know what you do here.
You borked my wife.
That was the area. That was the direction it did not need to go.
Well,
Yeah.
he did. You know.
He borked my wife, and
why-
I've never forgiven him.
That's
Yeah.
why he'll never work in the town again.
Yeah.
So yeah, you guys, how is Croakquill scouting with warbles? Are you using your senses, or are you listening for signs?
Ritual, so I could see through and look through. And I rolled an 18, so it wasn't that good.
You like hook yourself in, you mutter the right again, and you pass your senses off to piggyback onto Warbles'. Warbles goes back and forth, like fluttering around. As usual, it's one of those things where you're reaching out to what Warbles is detecting. Like, there's a lot of glittering that you find particularly notable, but that's because of just like the sun glancing off of the sea below. It's easy to keep yourself situated. It looks like a little ways past the edge of like where the one island meets the other, the ships start to get a bit denser, but the Imperial ships have stopped for the most part. Not a lot of colors here at all.
Awesome. Take that, Imperial ships.
Take that, Imperial scum.
Given that the wind is going more or less your way and there's only one real direction to go, you guys go eastward. You make it just about 2 squares to the place between both of those islands.
Nice.
A little bit past lunch. The clear weather is still there, and especially now that it's getting closer to like past winter into spring, and you guys are southerly, you're starting to get some real humid, like warm winds.
Ooh.
Nice. I might have to take off my cloak.
Yeah, what's everybody's clothing situation like?
I still got my my Hawaiian print shirt.
Yeah, like I'm wearing patchy brigandine, and like just probably like a jacket and pants, like very typical.
I'm wearing like clothes that looks like it was patched up, like definitely clothes that has been patched up and hand me down, and like just an absolute mess. And the cloak looks alright, but like it's a travel cloak and it's seen some travel.
At this point, you get to where you have to switch between going down to just kind of like light billowy stuff with the cloak over top, or ditching the cloak and just having your clothes.
I think I ditched the cloak.
All right. In terms of Jane, you describe the patchy brigandine. It's sewn into your jacket, right?
Yeah.
All right. So you're going to have to think of another way to keep yourself cool. Otherwise, you have like this leather jacket with plates sewn onto it for extra defense. It's what you're going to have to wear. So either you keep it nearby and like regularly fan it out, or something. I don't know.
I'd probably take it off, put it on a banister somewhere for now.
All right. I'll say that you're a responsible fighter. You just keep it somewhere that you can grab and quickly throw on in case of a tussle. Sun seems to be the best dressed for this, honestly. You've got the cargo pants. You unzip them into cargo shorts, or unbutton them, whatever the period equivalent is. It's officially the weather stage of the Hawaiian shirt goes unbuttoned, but it's not unbuttoned over a bare chest. It's unbuttoned over like a shirt, like a t-shirt, you know?
Yeah. It's not a particularly nice t-shirt. And it's not like Sun wouldn't just unbutton and have a bare chest, because he's very practical.
Yeah, like it's a tracksuit, track meet 88 kind of t-shirt.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right.
Track meet 88. God damn it.
The wind shifts to an easterly direction.
Easterly.
I will say there's been a weird amount of cardinal directions for this game. Like,
yeah.
All right, east. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. East.
Just east. Always east.
It has been noted that the wind is in our direction this time.
Yeah. Well, not,
I refuse
not
to
our
note it.
best direction, but like it's in a direction that is beneficial to us.
the wind tugs on you hard. You have to like stabilize the boat against some really choppy waves as you get out into the open. You make it 2.5 squares. From here, you notice that even the few sparse trade ships that make their way along, especially like some of them have escorts, they are staying sort of close to where the island is. Where you are, the further you get, the further you are from where people can see you. But even then, there's the occasional little blip of a sail off in the distance.
Okay.
Here, though, this is as close to wild as you're going to get for quite some time, unless you want to try and get closer.
No, I think this is good. Okay, I don't need too much. I just didn't want, us startling people or anything like that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back up to Janelle. I've done my scouting and I know that it's clear, and just go, okay, and pull out one of the bolts that I made that was a tracking bolt. And it's just like,
Oh.
I had this idea. You basically put my arm on the crossbow during the scrap on the beach in order for me to be able to aim. But what if you were just able to fire a bolt and I shoot that? So I want you to not tell me the direction you're shooting, but fire this somewhere, and I'm going to see if I can hit it.
Like a delayed airstrike kind of thing?
Okay, sure.
All right.
Okay, so I guess we'll go to the front of the ship.
Yeah. And I'm immediately like tapping in to try and like feel the arrow before she fires it.
I'm going to shoot it not perfectly straight, but like a little bit to the right.
All right. So you're heading eastward. There's a small island that you're near to. It's a little bit like rightward to the ship. So you wait a second. Like you're positioned so that like from what anybody would have heard, you're facing like the front of the ship, and then you go off a little bit and you aim towards like one rock you see. With the ka-chunk, Warbles kind of turns a little bit at the shiny thing. Auto tracking things as always, like starts mapping the path of the projectile. And Croquill, you feel something just kind of like the presence of this thing pull off in a direction. You can feel it weaken as it gets more distant in a way that is tangible to you.
Mm-hmm. When I feel it like stop weakening kind of thing, like I assume that it's either stop moving or like hit the water. Like when I feel it slow down, that's when I'm going to do my best to aim at it and do a force blast in that location.
All right. You feel a shuddering as the magic kind of fades on impact. The last direction where that was, you fire off a force blast. It's not close enough that you could fire it like a dart, but it's enough that for like an AoE blast, there's a foam of water that gets caught up in a wave as it's impacted by the force.
Sweet.
Is it in the right direction?
Yeah, it's pretty accurate.
How'd I do?
That's pretty good. Yeah, that was in the right direction. Cool.
Well, right direction is a good start.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? What more can you ask for?
Yeah.
And the best part is, that would be repeatable. So you don't have to keep aiming my hand.
The wind shifts again and starts to pull towards the northwest.
Cool.
Okay. It's a good thing that we just need to head south.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I launched an arrow and it stuck into somebody, you'd probably be able to tell exactly where that was.
Yeah. It seemed like a good idea, you know?
Yeah.
Like, are you, like, actually, like, turning to Sun, like, okay, come on, a little bit of props. Are you impressed by this? Come on.
Would you be able to do the same magic to, like, a bullet?
Theoretically, but I don't have a whole lot of surface area to work with on a bullet.
I'd rather keep magic and bullets separate if it's all, you know, an arrow by itself can't really do much, but a bullet does have some powder and inertia in it.
You want to see how much a bullet can do?
Yeah, like, okay, let's compare the shots you've done with your shotgun versus the shots that she's done and caused people's heads to blow up.
No, that's not what I mean. It's a matter of where the energy is stored, right? When you're firing a crossbow, where's all that energy developed and stored, right? It's in the crossbow itself. No, Richter, it's not the balls. It's in the crossbow itself. In a bullet, that energy in the bullet, and I don't think it's smart to mix magical energy with powder.
All right, fair enough.
Isn't it, like, not in the bullet, though? Like, I mean... what you're comparing is where the energy comes from.
Right.
And in the crossbow, it's from the crossbow, yeah.
Right.
And the gun, it's from the powder.
Let me... Have you ever... So here's a hypothetical scenario. I give you a case full of crossbow bolts, and I put them in a house, and the house burns down.
Yeah.
The crossbow bolts ain't going anywhere. They're just going to melt, right? If you put a bunch of bullets into a case and put that case in a burning house, and the house goes up and the fire hits the bullets are going to start going off. And you don't want to be anywhere near it, right?
Sure.
So, assuming that Crowquill's magic is about as safe as a burning house, I rest my case.
Oh, sure, but hasn't Crowquill proven that?
I imagine it's pretty safe. I mean, it's all over the ship.
I look over at Otto, and I look back at Crowquill, and I say,
I feel like I'm also looking at Otto and looking back to Sun. It's perfectly safe.
Personally, Otto swivels over a little bit. I would love to watch a house full of bullets burn down.
Well, no, we all would, Otto, but we're talking about human safety.
Sorry, that's not what I'm designed for. He swivels back the cannons.
Nah, you ain't.
Well, so you guys are slightly against the wind, going directly southward. You make it just shy of 2 squares, closer to where that tiny island is.
Tiny island.
Was this before or after lunch? I believe it's lunch now for you guys.
Yeah, we just finished with lunch.
All right, so the afternoon is starting to wear on. The wind shifts to a northeasterly.
Northeasterly.
I'm gonna make some more bullets.
You have to switch your sails around, but you're able to keep more or less the same course with more or less the same amount of thrust going behind you. The wind and the waves themselves start to get a bit choppier now that you're out into the openness of a bay. You make it 1.5 squares southward. By now, you've got just a little bit of time before dinner. The ships here are almost non-existent. There's just one, just like before, 1 or 2 sort of along the edge of the coast, and even those are barely at the edge of where you can see.
So I'm gonna ask Crowquill. Is your bolt tracking magic? Is that like in 3D space or 2D space? Like, do you know the general direction in terms of like around you? Or if I were to shoot the bolt upwards, would you also be able to tell that it was going
I mean, if you were to fire it off, I'd be able to point to it. If you were to ask me how far away it is, I could give you a sense of weakness.
That doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, yeah, cool.
I can point to it. I can't tell you how far away it is.
Sure.
All right, you guys continue or I believe now it's kind of like getting close to where you guys would stop for the night, right?
Oh yeah, right there. I think.
Probably,
I
yeah.
mean, we're not in any rush.
It's like too much butter spread over too much bread.
What?
A true
That's my
curse.
entire fucking life.
Also, Will, I don't know.
Like,
where
genuinely, that's my
actual
favorite book
Destiny-
quote of all time.
That's a book quote?
Yeah, it's from, I believe it's from Lord of the Rings. It's Bilbo describing how
Yeah.
he feels after being, like, weighed upon by the ring like that.
Right, okay. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
I
assume Will
very
that we're
often
going to
felt
this destination.
very thin and stretched, like not enough butter on too much bread, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
You loose your anchor just out here in open water. Things are quiet, sloshing back and forth. The truth is, you guys are not the safest out here. There's always monsters, but your ship is about the same size as a monster, so the other things that might be a threat to you start to avoid you.
Cool.
Monsters.
So does that mean we have to do night watches?
You tell me, what do you think?
Are there sea monsters in this area, Crowquill? Do you feel any sea monsters?
That's an excellent question. Do I feel any sea monsters in the area? Anything big enough to be a threat?
Anything big enough to be a threat you don't feel nearby.
Okay.
Nothing nearby.
That's sad.
Well, I wouldn't describe it particularly that way.
Kind of want to see some sea monsters.
You don't.
Yeah, like maybe a sea demon. That'd be cool. I've heard those are pretty impressive.
The night passes without much event. You guys awaken a little bit before Rooker's able to this time around.
I'm gonna go be right back momentarily.
Okay. I feel like Crowquill is openly musing about the idea of if Jane could fire one of those bolts, if Otto could hit it. Well, Otto could hit it normally, but without his optics.
Well, don't take his optic away.
I'm just saying, if he were to happen to lose it, would he be able to use his connection to me to hit the bullet?
Don't talk that way about my baby.
I'm just saying. It's you have to consider every possibility, which is why you made the optics detachable for repairs.
I mean, true. But I don't want to think about Otto getting dismantled.
That's fair. Okay.
Well, you kind of sit and putter, poke at your breakfast, talking about not thinking about Otto being dismantled, and after a little bit of time, you roll up the anchor, you reel it back in, and you start to make your way off towards the seas again.
Yeehaw!
The wind is moving steadily northward.
God damn it, Will. You hurt us. You hurt us so much. By the way, Will, is the square on the map the correct objective? Okay.
Yep.
I was just kind of assuming because it was the largest port.
Mhm.
Well, I guess if we want to tack southeast, that would work. Or southwest.
Well, I'll leave that for you to figure out because I'm crafting.
Let's go southeast. Or southwest. Southwest.
All right. You tack a little bit towards the southwest to avoid the worst of the wind's resistance. You end up actually hitting a bit of a sweet spot. Like, the waves are good. The wind is very consistent in a way that you can manage. You end up moving 2 squares to the southwest. The wind remains firmly northward again.
Okay.
I don't touch my glasses at all. How do they get things like?
I know, right?
Your eyelashes smear grease on them.
My greasy eyelashes.
Greasy eyelashes. God damn it.
Yeah.
It's the brow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Or your hair sweeping over.
That's true. My hair is now kind of in
No.
my face.
Bam.
It's all swooshy.
Glasses.
Oh,
Shred.
shit. My hair is at the length that I like just don't know what to do with it.
Mhm.
Like, I just push it out of the way.
I remember when my hair was that short.
Same.
Last summer.
Last year. Ah, those were the days.
You could cut your own hair, Ken.
I could, but that would
You
defeat the
own
joke.
Scissors.
I could, but that would lose the joke. And at this point, I feel like I am as much of a joke as necessary.
Yeah. I mean,
You're putting yourself through this pain every day for the joke of having long hair.
It's a commitment to comedy. It's a true dedication here.
oh, I just think it makes me look more like a Chad.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. But if you want to be the proper image of a Chad, you need to have the cowlick going up.
True.
You know.
Oh my god, I have a cowlick on both sides of my head. So it doesn't matter what side I part my hair, I always have this cowlick right here. Which makes my hair do this like whoop sort of thing.
A little bit of swoop. I mean,
Yeah.
when you said you had a cowlick on both sides, I was like, so devil horns? Like,
Kinda, yeah.
are you just satanic? Like,
Yes. That is exactly it.
okay. Ever just wake up in the morning feeling satanic?
And I wake up in the morning feeling like P. Satan.
Like P. Diddy, it would also work there.
I got my glasses on my head and they're all filthy. Before I leave, brush my teeth with a bottle of hair. Just when I lick all the cows.
Ah! God. You have to wake up in the morning feeling like P. Satan if you're fucking drinking a bottle of hair. The hell's wrong with you?
Brushing your teeth with a bottle of hair.
Ah.
Now, is that worse if it's short or long?
Short. It's worse if it's short.
Definitely worse if it's short.
If it's like little tiny, like a bottle of little tiny hairs, it just gets all over your mouth. Ah!
No, Chelsea knows that from experience because I used to shave using the bathroom sink.
And then not wash it off. Yeah, and then
I feel
it's
the-
everywhere.
There's a big difference between it being at the bottom of the sink and it being in your mouth, though.
Yeah.
Well, and then
Anyways, this is not the road I want to be going down.
So, let's change the topic immediately. Oh my goodness.
So the wind is going sharply northward. You caught a really good wind kind of tacking southwesterly.
Okay.
Tacking south.
I think we need to tack southeast now to sort of keep us in line with our general thing while the weather is being very disagreeable As is tradition.
As is tradition.
As you start to tack off the other way, you can see that there's a trade ship, or a really large cargo ship with like 1 or 2 escorts, none of which seem to have like official markings or anything. Mercenary ships, more likely. They're catching the wind very readily and going around this bend. You just, not narrowly in the whoa sense, just like narrowly as in close enough that you can give them a good look-see. You avoid them and then turn around the other way. You make it 1.5 squares. It's getting close to lunch.
Gabe, how's the scam going?
I told him that I would help him with his thing. Well, okay. He was like, "You got to do it now, bro." And I said, "What? You said that my account's going to be deleted in 3 hours? That means we got like 2 hours and 48 minutes to go, and I'm still finding out a lot about the flat Earth. Can you please help me do my research?" And he hasn't replied to that. I think I pushed it too far.
Yeah.
You flat smacked him too hard.
Or maybe he's running home to get his resources.
Could you imagine if he also happened to be a flat earther?
He has like a fucking binder at home that he scans in his office.
That's why he left. He was like, I can't scam a fellow brother. Like
another truther. No.
There's no flat earth in the world that thinks, I should not scam people.
Yeah.
Like,
they all have merch, which is interesting.
They all do. And you ever notice that flat earthers are just so bad at making YouTube videos?
Oh, but they're so good too. They're so good at making bad YouTube videos. It's magical. We should do a stream of that one day. Look at like flat Earth YouTube videos and shit like that.
Yeah, I can. I mean, I can share my email conversations with the flat earthers. It's fun because I've decided
multiple email conversations.
Just the one. But it's fun because I've adopted the persona of somebody who doesn't understand the internet very well, and I've decided that I have my alternate view of flat Earth, and everything he tries to tell me about his view, I get really angry about. So it puts him on
like flat earthers.
Yeah, so it puts him on the defensive. Like currently, I'm trying to get him to explain how rocks can float.
That's the best.
I've also said, do not answer with an YouTube video. I do not have a YouTube account because they watch it.
It's the ultimate way to defeat crazy. It's just more crazy.
Also being crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also as it goes on, I'm developing more and more of this character. Like, so he's worked in construction for 25 years, and he has a son that watches the Magic Treehouse and the Magic School Bus, and has explained a lot of science to me, and that's all of my scientific understanding. So anytime he tries to give me a science fact, I say, but my sons say on Magic School Bus, they say that ships are made of wood, not metal,
and
they are simply painted.
Oh my god, that's beautiful.
I really want to go through these message conversations on stream. That would be beautiful.
Yeah.
If you like send them to me, I'll screenshot them and like blank. I'll like blank out the emails, like the names and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, I will warn you, the particular group I'm messaging does love to start YouTube beef, and they do actively search themselves out in tags and things. Like
that sounds great.
Honestly, we could use the relevance.
Yeah, that sounds great. I don't think I would ever have a higher view count.
What's the worst they're gonna do? Slam this channel. We're gonna talk to the people who are on the Discord who know we're here, and then just come back, and then probably be favored slightly by the YouTube algorithm for being a new channel. Like,
yeah,
works for us.
Yeah, no, well, the thing is, like, one guy debunked one of their videos once, and they just keep making videos about him nonstop.
That sounds great. That sounds
I know.
great.
I love it. Well, in any case, we should leave that for another day. Please, for the love of God, let us leave it. I don't mean leave it. I mean, like, please let us leave it for another day. Can it be for another day?
Yeah.
So, yeah, the wind has shifted to a southwesterly direction, just kind of down through the funnel and then to the opening where the base splits.
I don't think we can afford to go so far south, or so far west, so I think we just need to just go south.
Going south.
All right, you still managed to catch a lot of the wind. It gives you quite the effective heave. You move 3.5 squares southward.
Woo!
From here, as you get further down, you can see that there's a lot more ships here. None of them really concretely colored. You note as well that there's no signs of any of these ports being like official or part of like any sort of government. There's no flags, no regalia. They're all kind of like loose, differently colored buildings. You're a bit further off from like the actual edge of the bay here, so they're at the edge of your vision, but you can see more than enough ships puttering around. Here they start to come and go quite readily. A few of them actually you see have like some battle scars. A couple of them, like, you can see people hastily putting their Jolly Rogers away kind of thing.
Fucking try it, boys.
Posers, you're not a real gamer pirate.
We're gonna walk into this bay and just be like, yo, we just blew up like 5 Imperial ships in one go. No damage to us. What?
Blew up 4, stole 1, made off with all of these counterfeit banknotes. Who wants them?
Fucking like, yeah.
Woo!
They're not counterfeit though, aren't they? Aren't they?
Oh, they are.
They're real banknotes that we need to modify
Yeah.
Right.
in order to
Because
sell.
they'll be tracked.
Yeah.
Or we could just... I wonder if there's anyone stupid enough...
Yeah, we could just find some stupid people.
Or people who are better at that than us. It'd be like, hey, we'll trade you gold for these, and you just have to go and, like, they're traced. Man, hey, this is Pirate Town? Let's stop in Pirate Town and get this money off our hands.
Yeah.
The wind shifts again towards the southeast, kind of turning again, sort of like around the edge of where this map is. It's amenable for you to quickly coast your way into port. You arrive there just a little bit before the end of a workday. This place, you see that there's like it's a really elaborate marina, and near the edge of a couple of different piers, there's like a couple of posts, and then a really high sign has been made that says Sepulchre Station. The piers, like, there are some larger ones for trade ships, but nothing that big really comes here. It's mostly ships of your size, maybe a bit bigger, a bit smaller. Your crow's nest easily is able to clear the sign by like a couple meters.
Okay.
Oof.
Okay.
It seems like there's a couple of different places open. One of them that you see, because your eye is drawn to it more than anything else, is it looks like there's like a fish and chip shack, seafood place.
Thirsty?
Ooh.
It's called the Bent Anchor. Yep, that sign's there.
I like
There's
that.
there's a Volpe sitting there, like straddling an anchor with a chain that kind of like is pulled off. There's a beer glass there, holding like a plate of fish and chips, booty out, and it goes, thirsty? Happy hour at 6 p.m.
Oh, no!
What time is it?
Almost 6 p.m.
Oh, you guys thirsty?
Crocodile. I describe this billboard in great detail to Crocodile.
Sounds like a fun place to be.
Well, I got 2 gold of these fragmentary rounds. I gotta get off my hands.
Let's get some fish and chips.
Yeah, well, do we want? Like, I'm thinking, I'll
we've
go
been
with-
eating fish for a while now. I mean, it might be worthwhile
Not
to
chips,
have
though.
chips, though. I mean, we've been eating potatoes too, but I
Have
mean,
you guys seen those like small town restaurant signs, the ones that just list the entire menu on the front?
Yeah.
It's one of those where it's like, it says like fish chip, like it's obviously a seafood place, but it's like steak, burgers, wings, pizza, like
Yeah.
Pizza! I love pizza! And burgers and all of that stuff, actually. Let's go.
Yeah, that sounds all incredibly greasy.
I want the grease.
Before I leave, I'm
Brush my teeth with a bottle of
Hair.
Before I leave, I'm casting 2 rituals. One on my coin purse as the usual deterrent for people pickpocketing me, and the other one on my clothes to make them breathier so they can stay cooler while wearing the cloak.
All right, give me both rolls.
What about your bottle of hair?
I don't have a bottle of hair. Alright, so...
The thing with random excess humor like that is every now and then you're like, Gabe, why did you say bottle of hair? And then there's other times where you're like, bottle of hair.
So it's a 31 on my thief deterrent coin purse.
Alright.
And that one wasn't as good of a roll. That is a 26 on my making myself feel cool.
Alright, you are especially used to like putting things into fabric, especially because of like what you do with your coin purse. So you go over your incantations and you can feel especially like all of your rituals are reasonably frosty and like sharpened, if that makes sense. In a magical sense. It makes sense in Magic Land. They're like sharp Magic Landy.
Oh yeah, these are crisp.
Oh yeah, they're crunchy.
Like the bottle of hair.
Please don't have a crunchy bottle of hair. That sounds horrible. That sounds even worse.
So much worse.
You guys like
crunchy.
You muscle your way past into this place, the Bent Anchor. It's oriented in a weird way where it's like you turn a little door. There's like a little like kiosk and like a small like place where you could like put down your hat. There's a small like place where you could tie your boots. And then you have to go like around through a narrow hallway, and then the rest of the restaurant's like over there. You're behind a couple of people, so you have a second. You can see there's actually like a town like message board nearby. You can also vaguely hear in the background the sound of like some music, kind of like.
What's the message board say? What is there anything interesting on the message board?
What are you looking for? This message board for people of your profession is mostly interesting things.
Jobs. Any like interesting side jobs that we could pick up?
It seems like that's the one thing that's missing. That's the sort of thing that you spark up a conversation around here for, or at least that's what Bilgy informs you. You guys know how to find yourselves a job. What you see is more opportunities. You guys have to check in with the rookery around here sooner rather than later. You saw it sort of at the far end of the bay. You notice that there is like the services of a shipwright being advertised if you needed any repairs done or any like cosmetic changes. There's also a warehouse that's for sale or rent to buy.
Okay.
Well, we don't need a warehouse. Is there anywhere I could go to offload these fragmentary bullets? Or actually, I might just hang on to them. I might just carry the case of me into the bar and grill, and see if there's any pirate types that want to purchase them.
All right, so you're awkwardly like carrying these, and you kind of like plunk them down. The group ahead of you gets escorted off, and like you can see it says like, "Please wait to be served." And then you squint, and it's like, "No, please wait to be serviced."
Yeah, those two words seem pretty similar to me.
Yeah, similar meaning.
Similar meaning,
As you're sitting there, there's a couple of pirates who come in behind you. One of them goes, "Oh, hello there, lad.
Oh, hello.
You wouldn't happen to be selling, are you? What are those, 20 gauge?"
Oh, they're a little more than that, friend. And I open them up and take one out. And this here, it's a proprietary round, 2-stage fragmentary round. So you fire this, and those pointy bits there, they penetrate through the armor, and that triggers the second explosion, which sends the fragments all up inside your target.
How much you selling them for?
No, this case here, 2 gold.
He kind of mutters and goes, "I'll clear out half of it for one."
No, sure, sounds good.
The pirate kind of like goes and picks them out as you hand them, like, and puts them in a pocket, passes you a gold. After you've made that transaction, someone walks up. You see that there's a green Torg who's a little bit too big for the room, in like a little, very tight t-shirt and red booty shorts. He makes his way up, and he's holding menus, and he goes, "Hi, welcome to the Bent Anchor. Can I get you something? Place to sit? Come on in."
Yes,
Gives you a little
please.
wink and starts walking with a bit of a swagger.
Huh.
Oh yeah.
You know, I don't think that man should drink on the job, but I'm not his boss.
I don't
As
think
you walk,
I think the implication is that he's probably thirsty.
Wait. Well, I mean, I'm sure they have water in the back room or whatever for people on the break.
Yeah, but
As
you
you-
don't always want
as you make your way in, there's a couple of like tables and chairs strewn about. It's not late enough yet for anything to be happening, but there is a stage and there is a pole. There's like a couple of different like booths off to either side, and there's a bar near the edge. You can see that like there's a couple of people coming and going from like good old fashioned like double way hinge doors towards what sounds like the kitchen from the periodic like bubbling and rattling that comes out of it.
Nice.
As you're looking around, you hear like the first thing everybody but Croquill notices is like there's big rainbow flags and trans flags all over the place. There's all kinds of like little metal signs, like novelty gay jokes and that kind of thing. What you hear, Croquill, is the staple of every gay bar, which is a couple of people talking way too loudly about something way too intimate. Like 2 booths down, there's someone talking about a time that like a butt plug slipped out and they lost it in the room.
It's just like funeral. What?
Okay, so can I get you a booth or a table? Someone else has come up now that you've been directed inwards.
Booth, please.
But yeah, booth.
You're like kind of shuffled inwards towards one of the booths. From here, you can see people coming and going. Would you guys be like the port side or the like land side?
Oh, the land side. We've seen enough of the ocean.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys are in like the dingier, darker part. You can smell like, and you can see kind of in the air, there's a bit of a haze. They come by with some menus.
Jane, little help.
Yeah. At this point, I read it to you, like without even
thinking.
Yeah.
And it's not even like an I asked you to do it, or you're like specifically reading to me. It's like, okay, so we got like a
Yeah. I just start reading it out loud.
So the first thing you note, which is a little bit unusual, is that right like on the front, there's another vaguely horny ad. Here there's like a glowtorg, same thing, like little red booty shorts, like ooh, and it's like need bait, and then it mentions like, while picking up your tab, make your way through the bait shop for any bonus fishing purchases you need.
I also describe that ad in detail.
That seems unsanitary.
It's like, well, I'm sure. Yep. Okay. That sounds like a good idea for fishermen.
I heard a puppy wiggle.
Yeah, there was a puppy wiggle.
I saw a little bit of white floof at the base of the frame.
Yeah. She's really gotten interested in bum scritches recently. Like,
Oh.
she really wants me to scritch like right above like her back above her tail.
Yep, that's a popular bum scritch spot.
Yep.
Yeah.
Especially among cats. Cats, almost always that's a spot.
Yeah.
Maya is not cat, but Maya is enough.
Yeah.
After a little while, you're looking over the menu. At first, they just mention like the stuff that's available. What's also noticeable is that they have a different selection. Like they have, in particular, they have a lot of stuff that's more common down here. They have like fruit juices. They have, like beers and wines. But a lot of their selections are for a warmer climate. Like there's white wines and rosés. You also note that they have like pre-roll joints and stuff like that here that are just like available to pass to customers, cigarettes, that kind of thing. You get past there, and there's the standard fare, like seafood, surf and turf. There's steaks, burgers, steak sandwiches. It's very much like an Archie's kind of deal, except every single item name is some kind of vaguely horny pun.
I find the most like vegetarian friendly thing on the menu, and then like a fruit juice.
Yeah, when the when the server comes back, I say, yeah, can I have the thigh high sandwich and a glass of man milk, and yeah, why don't you bring over a pitcher of wine for the table, and I'll grab one of those joints too.
I thought it was supposed to be vaguely. What part of man milk is vaguely an innuendo?
To be fair, when you get to the cocktails, the vague starts to slip.
Fair enough.
I'll get a threesome burger, please.
All right. Threesome burger. So which of the 3 themes did you want for your sliders?
The pickles, please.
Okay. So thickles with pickles for the first one. Did you just want a cheeseburger for the other one?
Yeah, that's perfect, yeah.
All right. So thickles with pickles, a cheeseburger, and then usually when people have something fancy, they like just a good old-fashioned double stack. All right, and the double thick, perfect. And for you?
Not remembering like what Jane said was the actual name of it, I just kind of go, and salad and orange juice.
All right, the crispy and scrumptious with some orange juice. I'll get that ready for you. Later, sugar. He walks away.
I love this place.
That was 100% because I couldn't think of anything. I'm so bad at innuendo that it's just like, what's the thing for a salad? I got fucking nothing. It's just like, no, I'm just gonna not do, no. Not engage in the joke.
To be fair, it does fit the joke format. It's like, lean in, lean in, lean in, lean in, salad.
Yeah.
It can be a toss and Caesar salad.
The old fig leaf special.
You know, like her name, Romaine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The drinks come a little bit before the rest of the food.
Well,
The drink comes as well.
I propose a toast to the fine craftsmanship of Kananye and Son, and the those 4 boats we sent right to the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah.
Cheers.
I completely
Cling.
miss everyone's glass, and it's just gonna hold up for people to hit mine.
Oh yeah, no, I feel like that's the vibe. You hold up your glass, and we all aim to you.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So yeah, it's the usual weird thing where you hold out a glass and then you feel it go kink, 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 and then you bring it back in.
It's the way it should be.
After the toast, there's someone who saunters up. Hey, do you, how many of those you got left? Those shot shells.
The shot shells, got 10 of them for gold.
Deal.
All right. Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching.
Man, yeah, this is so easy. People come up to you looking for them.
Listen,
Kananye and Son.
Yeah.
Kananye and Son. Listen, I'm telling you, that little stunt we did, it's paying off.
It's totally paying off out here. It totally reached the...
Word hasn't reached here yet, but it will.
It will. Oh, yeah. Just you wait.
Yeah.
You look over and, like, sure enough, you're not the only people doing this. At adjacent tables, you hear, like, a rowdy kind of discussion going on. It sounds like it's in Torgish. Does anybody speak that?
I wouldn't.
No.
No, I don't.
So these are all, like, far-flung Navy sailors that have long since, like, gone away from the rigid, literal Navy of the Navy uniforms, and they're all wearing, like, stuff with the shirt, like the sleeves torn off and bandanas. They've been gone a while, but they're still talking to each other. One of them you see is obviously like miming a cannon being fired off and then something blowing up. You look over and there's someone like with a couple of different jars of swamp grass, like putting them out one by one. The other person kind of is giving them a shake, a look, and a sniff. After a little while, the food comes.
Is mine nice and crispy? Nice.
What kind of
crispy and scrumptious?
What kind of dressing is it? And we all know it's Caesar, or it's all Caesar dressing. Like a nice creamy ranch, you know?
Well, no, because we're in the south. Like we're in sort of like wine town, so I feel like it's a balsamic. Like I feel like it's a vinaigrette.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Will is really.
I feel like I'm flying so close to the sun. I have vestiges and parcels, and as we get further and further to where the edge of where this joke could possibly continue to be funny, I am clawing at them desperately.
I feel like they gave up on the names, like on the salad side. They're no one's gonna fucking look at the salad stuff, so it's like balsamic vinaigrette.
Balsamic.
Nobody's coming here for a salad.
Yeah, it's like no one's coming here for a fucking salad. It's a balsamic, whatever.
It's a bang Sonic.
Bang Sonic.
You're sitting there like looking over and you're going, actually, what were the options? And sure enough, it's literally just the name, except it's in a menu that's called Choose Your Load. It's a little direct. A little while later, the server comes back, goes, those drinks, another joint? Need an extra load?
Oh, no, I'm fine.
No, I'm good. And I take my joint.
All right.
Okay.
You have a little bit more time to like chow down on a bit of food.
Does anyone know how to? Never actually done one of these before.
Jane almost definitely has. Like,
I fully believe that Jane would be like the first person to just like take out a little bit of a lighter and all right,
yeah,
let's fucking
absolutely.
do this.
Jane, I think has gone through the various drugs that exist.
All right, so you just kind of you sit there and you're like, fuck it. You just like grab it, stick it in your lips, kind of like halfway mumbling. You gesture to Crockwell, you're like, snap me. Crockwell, you just kind of like, there's a little flame. You lean in, you light it and pass it back.
Yeah.
I take a small little
a life-giving breath of air.
I huff on this thing like an asthmatic kid on fucking an inhaler.
Drawing on some life experience, are we?
Shut up.
Poor Gabe.
You hack up half a fucking lung. The nearby table kind of like gives you a bit of a cheers with their like jars full of swamp grass.
Hey!
A life-giving breath.
Yeah.
It is the best way to describe that.
It is. Listen, you don't realize how good oxygen is until you're like, oh man, not getting enough.
I know, right?
You actually, as you're sitting there kind of like recovering from your hacking cough, and as the kind of like nearby haze starts to part, you see that there's someone in kind of like dark robes who's just holding a bird mask, not wearing it, a rat folk, who just like walks up, settles in a bill, and then like opens the door to like the tavern about to leave.
Oh, from the Mercury, probably.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose we do have a job here.
Yeah, we'll get there as soon as we're done with our food.
Yeah, you gotta finish your double stack. What was it?
My threesome.
Double thick.
Double thick.
Double
that's
thick.
it.
Yeah.
So you sit there finishing up a bit of your food. You watch the Rooker leave, and then right as the door is kind of swinging, it opens. You walk through. It swings open the other way, so you see a bit of opening. You see the one Rooker high five another one. The door swings open another way, nothing, and then swings in. Gets pulled aside, and you see a Rooker come on, full on, mask and everything, and goes finger guns both ways, Dariush! And then there's a bunch of people going, hey! And the guy goes up and grabs a beer from the wall and sits right in front of the stage. Right as he sits down, you hear the green torg from before move to the right spot, briefly mutter an incantation and hold up a little piece of paper that starts to vibrate. The voice is projected through and goes, "That's right, bottom bitches and thirsty thirds. It's happy hour. Get ready for our dancers for tonight." You hear woo going on from different parts of the bar.
I love this. This is my favorite place in the world.
All right. Well, you've finished up your food, and you can hear the starting to come in. There's a couple people nearby playing on instruments, boom, doom, doom, boom, boom, and the lights are starting to get a little bit lower. You can see that nearby there's a performance mage sitting there, periodically, making little flares behind the stage. A couple of the dancers start coming out. Both of them just kind of playing off of each other near the front of the room.
I know I can generally guess what's going on, but I'm just kind of sitting there, aren't
I will in detail describe everything that's happening.
It's
it's oh my god! Look, so the next person coming up, her butt, voluptuous is the best way to describe it.
But you've described every butt as voluptuous.
Some
of the butts have to not be voluptuous.
Sun is just kind of staring and nodding.
On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being big booty, how voluptuous we talking here?
Definitely an 8.5.
Damn.
As you're sitting there, Croquill, you can just... There's a lull in the conversation, and in the direction of the stage, you can vaguely hear a...
Oh.
You pause for a second, and Bill G notices you pause and goes, "Ass cheeks, don't worry."
I'm okay.
Sun leans in and says, how do you guys know what's about to happen before it happens?
It's just, you gotta be along for the ride, son.
Sailor's intuition.
A server comes by again. At this point, now that it's past 6 to happy hour, you notice that the outfits have changed from booty shorts and t-shirts to tighter, shorter, crop tops, and more... They were below the biscuit, now they're above.
Nice.
Servers come back and go, "So, can I get you anything to drink?" And there's the creaking on the table with the lean-in.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
No.
Can I get a bottle of hair?
Yeah. Hair of the dog, we can do that. The server heads off to go and fill the order. At this point, you can see a couple of other pirates coming by and sitting near the edge of the stage. There's still enough space for you to sidle up and have a conversation with the Rooker, who sure enough is sitting there actively has a drink in one hand and is eating a hot dog with the other underneath the mask.
Yeah, I'm gonna go talk to him. Ask him. But jobs, I guess. While we're watching the dancers.
All right, so you make your way up. Sure enough, you're noticed because you go right for the guy and you peripherals and sees you and gives you a wave and goes, "Hey, new in town."
Yeah. We do runs for the Rookery. Just wonder, like, you guys got jobs going on right now?
At this point, like, as you say that, this dude doesn't say anything, but like nearby, a couple of the other sailors are like, "Big D's got some jobs." "Oh yeah, job for Big D." The guy's like, bro. And like, guy chuckles and he goes, "Yeah, Dave's right there. He does like the night shifts, but like, yeah, if you just want to talk about the gig, like I'm business during the day, but I'm partying at night, bro."
Cool, man. Love it.
Anyhow, what's your name?
Jane.
Jane. Daryush. And nearby, there's a couple of other people who go, "Daryush."
I give him a hell yeah, and then go talk to Dave.
You're about to leave, and there's a couple of ass cheeks that just whoomp right in front of you near the edge of the stage. For a brief moment, you're enthralled, but right, Dave.
Dave. Yeah.
If Jane's leaving, I'm gonna pay my bill and go with her, because I'm not getting anything out of this performance if she's not gonna be there to describe the voluptuous.
Yeah, before I leave, I'm gonna pay my bill.
All right, so you guys settle up and start to make your way off towards the Rookery. You got there just around where the sun is starting to set, so it's getting a little bit like darker in the day, but there's still some time to go. You just had a bit of like an early kind of like dinner with a bit of a drink. You make your way around the pier. Sure enough, there's a couple of different warehouses. You can see people up, like, putting a whole bunch of different, like, firearms and explosive crates and things in different warehouses around here. You can even see a couple of people kind of, like, doing deals off of the front of the piers. You notice that even though there wouldn't necessarily be, like, a guard force, there's still, like, armed locals who are, like, around keeping an eye out. You make your way up to where the Rookery is and up the stairs and unlock the door. It creaks open. As you, like, walk in, you see, like, there's the actual, like, Rookery as normal. This is, like, a general one for the area, so, like, they're ready for unloading and loading and stuff like that. There's, like, the little letter writing booths with the curtains. There's, like, shelves full of paper and, like, the interactions desk. Nearby, though, there's, like, a little reading nook with, like, a chaise lounge. Dave, with like the mask on and everything, is just sitting there in the middle of reading a copy of Roguish Dick and Other Tales.
Man, love this.
Quietly, like, looks up, folds the book shut, sliding in a little, like, bookmark, picks up a little cup of tea, straightens, goes, "Hello."
Hi. We do runs for the Rookery. I'm wondering, do you have any jobs going on right now?
Yes. Right. So actually, we could use you for mail delivery if you're willing. We have a route that would need to be done recurring. How do you feel for a 2-week rotation?
Yeah, I think that's fine. 2 weeks, yeah.
All right. We'd be sending you places. We expect you to come back within the day. So we were thinking probably, as long as you're willing to come out, we'll give you, like a couple of hours between sweats and then send you off again.
Yep, okay, sure. Sounds good.
All right. We don't have anything, but if you're late night runners, usually I have all the mail ready to go packaged out just before the morning shift. Otherwise, you should get there in time for Daryush every morning. You should be able to get things done. As long as you show between 6 a.m. and noon, so we can get everything out before the next 6 a.m. noon spin.
All right, I'll be here tomorrow morning.
Wonderful.
Awesome.
He gives you a little smile.
I walk out.
He sits there, as you're leaving, he sits down, adjusts the black robes a little bit and the masks. And then as you're leaving, he goes, "Oh, wait." You can hear the...
Okay, alright, we should be back live again. And I apologize to everyone for my psychedelicness.
Yeah, we just had a little moment. A little
moment
hiccup.
where my computer completely blue screened on me.
Just a little.
And clearly the effects are still happening. This is my life now.
Yeah. Blew it. Your computer blew it.
Yeah. My computer was too thirsty and they blew its load. Like, jeez.
I'm
But
trying to. Okay, there we go. I wasn't sure if we were out of the woods yet, but looks like we're back.
upside, I'm pink and green now. So
Yeah, it's a look.
That's
It's a
pretty
look.
fucking cool. It's pretty fucking cool. I couldn't recreate this effect if I tried, but I do feel like I'm in a music video from the 90s now.
I wonder if it's like a cable that needs a jimmy.
Probably needs an unplug and plug back in. I'm honestly not too worried about this. I just didn't want to fix it because I look pretty cool.
Anyways, I don't know where we dropped off. It was in the middle of that rookery interaction.
I forget the last words that were said. Hi Chelsea, we went back live, and
Wow.
yeah,
Whoa, Ken, are you green and purple?
yeah. I see my computer blue screened, and then I just decided to paint literally everything, either pink or green. You know, and I'm just kind of going with it,
Including your body and
including
hair
my body and my hair and my glasses.
Yeah, it was a costume change. It was a quick change.
Even my eyes. I put in contacts for this. Can you believe it?
It's dedication.
Yeah.
Purpose, or is it like something's messed up?
Oh, something's messed up, but don't worry
Yeah,
about it.
this is broken. But yeah, we're almost done stream, so let's
Okay.
Rock it.
The worker. Sorry, he was. What was he saying? He called me back. Is where
Yes,
we were.
Yeah.
that is where we were.
So the rooker called you back and was like, "Oh, right, I haven't logged you in."
Right. And then I was going to ask the group in general, do we go like by the ship's name, or should I give my personal name?
Yeah,
or
I feel like we're the Bilgewater.
the Bilgewater?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give him the Bilgewater.
All right, they log you in, and then the guy goes, "Oh, I mean, I'm not sure if now would be the best time, but we have them in stock. Looks like you've earned your robes."
Oh, perfect. Yeah. That's a great time. I'll pick them up and bring them. Yeah.
I guess
Oh no, everyone has to be awarded them.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
We might want to do that tomorrow.
Let's do that tomorrow then.
Yeah, can we do that tomorrow?
Son, what are you doing? Son's particularly thirsty.
I think, yeah, I don't think you grabbed Sun. Sun's actually probably still back at that booth. Sun is still back at that booth, finishing off that joint, and he has taken apart a shotgun's shell, and is just sort of looking at all the pieces.
Really awkwardly, just kind of standing there like...
Man, a lot of things going in there.
Yeah.
Very
A lot of
intricate.
stuff.
Counting the individual grains of powder.
Yeah.
Yep, it's all there.
All there.
All
So-
1,800 of them.
You're sitting there in the middle of that, back at the bent anchor, and someone sidles on up. There's a pirate there, a young, clean-shaven, small-looking dude. Obviously a fighter of some sort. You can see like a saber clanging at his side, but he goes, "What you building?"
Bullet.
Nice.
Yeah.
Anyways, sorry, I shouldn't have bothered you. The sailor leaves.
That was weird.
Do you guys return to locate your lost son?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't. I'm going back to the ship. I got nothing to do in that bar.
I'll go get him. I leave the rookery and think, God, did we get Sun out of there?
Son can
I don't
leave on
think
his own. He's an adult. He's older
Yeah,
than
I'm
both
an
of us
adult.
combined. Like
I
he
know,
can.
but like the way Sun is like he's not gonna know when to leave.
I think that's a him problem, and personally, I think he can do with the stress relief. So I'm just gonna go back to the ship.
Stress
I'm gonna
relief,
go.
eh?
See if you need assistance.
Okay, probably by the time you back out, Sun is headed out on his own.
Okay.
Hey, hey, Jane, how's it going?
We're able to get our robes tomorrow, I
Robes.
said, for the rookery.
I didn't... Oh... Cool, so, did you have them there, or...?
No, we gotta be awarded them, so I think you gotta be there in person. I said we'd do it tomorrow.
Midway through your conversation, there's a handful of drunk sailors kind of all stumbling out of the bar. One of them's visibly in, like, high camp drag. The one that, like, went up and said, "What you building?" earlier, like, with both hands cups from across the street towards Sun, goes, "You're cute!" And they all start laughing and keep mowing down the road.
This place is way more friendly than the last place.
I like this place.
I think he was making fun of me.
Why? It's making fun of you.
Like, Crowquill looks dead at you and just goes, "Nah, you're totally cute."
I think he's making fun of me.
Yeah, well, that's where I'll call it. You guys make it back to the ship for a night, moored in Sepulchre Station outside the Bent Anchor.
Before we send off, I'm going up to Otto, and I say, Otto, I need your objective judgment here. Am I cute?
Otto, like, turns, analyzes, and goes, "I don't fucking know, I'm a robot." Turns back around.
You always know just what to say, friend.
All right.
Alright. You're looking great.
I'm looking cute. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm looking fucking fabulous over here. This is the best I've looked in months.
So if you want to see more good-looking pink and green action, we're here at twitch.tv/Croden Live with a little underscore in there. If you want to check us out on YouTube, we're at youtube.com/Mr. Croden, I believe, still.
Yes.
And the VODs are also posted after they come up here, if you want to see them a little early.
When I remember.
When remembered. And the rules for this game in their most recent playable format are at bloodwine.fandom.com. Coming up, I know on Saturday we got some Night in the Woods action going.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be the finale of Night in the Woods.
Maybe.
I think.
It is definitely like one or two. We're in the latter chunk of the game.
Yeah. So there's going to be that. And then on Monday, I'm going to be continuing It Takes Two with Cam.
Ooh,
and that
Tiny Boys.
It's such a fun game. It's so good. Anyway, I got to go fix my computer, so good night, everybody.
Good night.